Welcome to our Afluencer podcast, where we connect small business and e-commerce stores with micro influencers, creators. And today we're talking about a really good cause. We've got Sam Proof here with us, the founder of a cat fostering project that I think is going to melt the hearts of everyone watching and listening. And I'll let Sam get into his own words in terms of what they're working on there. So Sam, welcome. And let's start there. Can you introduce yourself and give us an overview, your background, and how you got into Cute Avalanche?
Yeah, so I've always been sort of an early adopter to new things and the internet, and been a content creator. Like made my first website in like 1992 and started doing videos before YouTube was even a thing. In 2005, I answered this ad on Craigslist. I'd moved out to Hollywood. I answered this ad on Craigslist for a casting call and went to what I wasn't sure was a place that was going to murder me. And it turned out to be a live stream studio, which I'd never heard of anything along these lines in my life. And it was this little startup that was run out of the back of like a lighting rental studio. So like they had all the props and stuff for big Hollywood. And in the back, they just had this room of computers, and we would go in for like an hour or two every couple of days and just live stream and do whatever we wanted. And we got paid for it. And I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I want to do this forever. That company closed in like a year because it was way ahead of its time. And then YouTube came out, and I was like, well, now I want to do this forever. And so I've always just kind of done that and been a content creator. I ran my own channels and different brands and stuff like that. And eventually I fell in love. I got married. I had kids. And I was like, well, I can't do any of that stuff anymore. And I need to double down on, real jobs. And so I was doing that, and I had zero time left. And my wife came to me and was like, I've always wanted to foster cats, and I've been thinking about doing that now that, our kids are a certain age and stuff. And I was like, that's cool if I can live stream them. Because I was like, this will fill that gap of being a creator and wanting to do that kind of stuff online, which I hadn't been able to do for almost a decade at that point. And she begrudgingly was like, okay. So yeah, 7 years ago, we got our first kittens, and I literally, my live stream setup was we had a pen that the kittens were in, and I put a phone on top of it and streamed to Facebook for as long as it would go, which was like 8 hours at that time. And that was the inception point of Cute Avalanche.
Yeah, very cool. Gotcha. Just a cute kitten stream. What did you then, as I assume, maybe you put the phone there the next day, and at what point did you notice hey, people just, they're tuning in, they're watching the kittens?
It was actually pretty fast. Early on, it was just Facebook, and because that was the only one that I could find an easy mobile app to do at that point, I believe. But we lucked out, and we're able to build our setup out a little more, and we came upon a site called Mixer. And once we got to Mixer, it just exploded. We grew really, really fast. We were probably the only cat cam on Mixer at the time. I think we may have been the only animal cam. So people really kind of took to it. And at that time, we also had a very pregnant mom cat who ended up giving birth live on the stream. So it was featured on the front page of Mixer. We got a lot of sort of other social media push and press from other websites and stuff. And it did really, really well there. And then Mixer closed.
So has that been one of your biggest challenges then? And in terms of the platform starting over?
Yeah.
Initial live stream, Mixer closing, and then you got to find somewhere else, but you got to reestablish yourself.
Pretty much. We've always, because of that, kind of taken toward multi-streaming. So right now, if you go to us, you can actually find Cute Avalanche on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook and pretty much any platform that offers streaming, we're on there. Because exactly that, time and time again. And, even through my own content creation career, I've seen sites come up and go away within a year or two. Once the VC funding is done, they're like, well, we weren't profitable, so goodbye.
We tried. Yeah.
Right. We tried. So yeah, it's my number one sort of safety net thing when I'm building anything online is how can I spread this out enough that I can A, maintain it, but B, grow on other platforms in case this other thing falls, And I think a lot of sort of new creators aren't aware of that enough. They just think, yeah, YouTube would never go away. Twitch would never go away. Maybe.
Just wait. Yeah, you've seen it, right? I'm old enough to remember, what was his name? Tom from MySpace?
MySpace, sure.
Yeah. We go through that a little as well. Same with this. Probably seen setting up your influencer profiles. We've got the social media connections, and then the 5 of them. And Instagram's the best because Instagram kind of has the best API. But we go through the same mental paces of okay, we can't just be Instagram. Right. And now you're one decision away from not having a company, right? So you get phase it out, right? You get TikTok and Twitter, and then Twitter goes crazy. And now we're looking at other things, right, as well. So try to stay ahead of it. So I hear you there. What other marketing strategies then have worked in terms of growing Cute Avalanche? I know the content. Obviously, the kittens being born. That's kind of a home run. Yeah. What other marketing strategies have worked for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that we do is, straight out just social media and just word of mouth from our viewers and like them going out there and telling other people. It's a lot of like our marketing strategies are community growth, right? So it's all sort of that word of mouth thing of like, go check this out. What's really cool, our sort of home base for streaming is Twitch. What's really cool about that community is they have the ability as streamers themselves to then, when they're done their stream, they raid into another stream. So we'll, get these like big bursts of like 100 people just showed up from this one stream. And it's like, that's awesome. Otherwise we're like stuck at like 20 to 40. And then all of a sudden it just goes through the roof. We had some really, really big streamers dropping like their entire community into us at one point. It's just like, suddenly you have thousands and it's like, this is amazing. And your growth spikes and your views spike. But like, it's almost at that point more about getting people to come back, you're like, hey, remember us? So a lot of what I do is, I go onto as many podcasts as I can. So thanks for having me, of course. We do a lot of social media and, we try and get in faces wherever we can. So it's a lot of different things and collaborations and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I gotcha. I was wondering that when you get all these new viewers coming over, how many of them stick was going to be my question on that. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
You get out to these different outlets and here, right, we're trying to reach the pet lovers, especially the cat lovers, right? And then these are more likely to stick, right? The viewers, followers.
I think there's a couple of cool things that have happened in the last year, which we've played around a lot with, different things. Twitch obviously is monetized and has ad revenue and ads. So when you first join a stream, like there's an ad and you'll see like, 100 people rated you. And within 10 minutes, 30 people are still here. And we started playing around with that. So you can actually mitigate the pre-roll ad on Twitch by doing mid-roll ads automated. You have to do like 3 minutes per hour. So we break it up to 90 seconds. And we've actually seen a huge decrease in the drop off, right? So like more people stick around if they don't have to sit through that initial ad and they're more willing to like deal with that 90-second ad a half an hour in. So that's been really cool.
I'm curious, as Twitch keeps coming up and we don't do anything ourselves on Twitch. Sure. Is that a big growth area for you? Because I do hear about it.
Twitch is, so it is our biggest platform. We just passed 19,000 followers on Twitch itself. And our growth, now that we've actually implemented the mid-roll as opposed to a pre-roll, our growth has been pretty good. Like it's, I think 2x what we were getting before. It depends month to month what platform's actually bringing in the most. So like sometimes we do really well on like YouTube or one of the other places and it bounces around, but for the most part, Twitch is consistently like the highest average viewer and the highest grower.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. And then is it all live stuff that you're throwing out there on Twitch?
It's 99.99% live stuff. They do have like the ability to do like clips and VODs, and they recently released a vertical story kind of thing, which I believe it's only available on mobile. And it doesn't move the needle very much, but the clips do okay. The biggest hurdle with Twitch itself is that they don't have a lot of discoverability, especially on the VOD side of things. So occasionally something will get picked up by Google, but for the most part, like if you're searching the Google like search engine for like cute live stream clips of cats, I couldn't get more direct on this prompt, you're not going to find it, right? Yeah. It's just going to be random stuff, and like maybe 1 out of 1,000 times you'll actually see a clip from Twitch show up, unless you're searching for very specifically like, one of those top tier Twitch streamers like Pokimane, who's no longer a Twitch streamer, but like then you'll find her channel. But yeah, they don't rank high.
That's Google being Google, right?
Yeah, it just doesn't rank high on that. So.
Right. Yeah. Right. Gotcha. You mentioned the collab, Sam, in terms of working with influencers, creators. Have you done anything, I guess, formal with influencers and creators? And if so, interested in hearing how these partnerships have benefited or worked out for Cute Avalanche.
So we've done a few things here and there. We have like guest streamers that come on, which is pretty much this one girl whose name is Insomnia Doodle. She's an artist, and she'll come on like once a month to draw on our stream and draw cat related stuff. So a lot of our like emotes and stickers and merch have been drawn by her. And most of the time it's live on our stream. She does stuff on her own stream, which we'll funnel people over to as well. And last year we launched a podcast specifically because we were like, this would be an easy way to collaborate with people is you come on and talk about yourself and what you do with cats. Like couldn't be simpler, right? So we launched that last year. Podcast is a lot of work. So it's not a regular thing we're doing just yet, but I am hoping to make that more of a reoccurring thing this year. And then we've also done a lot of stuff with other rescues. So Kitten Rescue is the place that we volunteer for, and we've done things with them. We did like a big fundraising effort for them a couple years ago where they do this Giving Tuesday thing, which is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. They give back by trying to empty out one of the shelters because the shelters in LA are constantly filled to capacity, which means bad things happen at that point. So yeah, every year they will clear out one shelter, and we decided that since we were already fosters and we couldn't take in cats, we would take in donations from our community to make gift bags for other people who are fostering for that. So they got like cat tunnels and toys and food and all of this great stuff like that they might not buy on their own because a lot of these fosters have to foot the bill on all of that kind of stuff. So we're like, here's something, that you don't have to worry about.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. And so we've done more stuff like that. We did a fundraising effort for Best Friends Animal Society, which is another big national, nonprofit. And we went to, again, through Kitten Rescue, we went to VidCon last year, and they did like a pop-up cat cafe. So VidCon, for anyone who doesn't know, is a big, video conference. It's mostly YouTubers. It's mostly a lot of younger people. They have actually started to sort of push it more toward professionals and industry people again, where it's kind of where it started. So yeah, we went and we did this big one-day cat cafe inside the Hyatt, and it was a lot of fun. We met a lot of influencers. It was cool. And so yeah, a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, that's great. So for our cat influencers, if you will, I guess, who are watching, listening on the podcast here today, how can they reach you, connect with you?
Yeah, you can find Cute Avalanche pretty much on any platform and DM me, but cuteavalanche@gmail.com is always the best way to get in touch with me, or just through our website. There's a contact form as well.
Excellent. Cool. Thanks, Sam. We'll get the links out underneath the podcast here in the show notes.
Cool.
So it's published. And then I'll get you out of here on this one. So looking ahead then for Cute Avalanche, give us some visions, goals. What's next? You mentioned ramping up the podcast. I'm with you in terms of that being a lot of work. It does seem though today like it's one of those things you just gotta, you just do eventually, and you would have a great list of guests, cat lovers coming on. What are the thoughts there? What else in terms of visions and goals for Cute Avalanche?
Sure. So we do a lot of sort of virtual events throughout the year. We just held our Super Bowl, which was like our kickoff to fundraising. So we deck out the room in, let's say, sport decorations. I don't want to get because the NFL. But yeah, we do that. It's kind of like the Kitten Bowl was, but it's live, and all of the scores are driven by donations. So as we break the kittens up into two different teams, and we have a big scoreboard that drops down from the top. And as people donate, they can write one of the names of the teams in, and the score goes up, and it's a lot of fun. So we do that. In March, we have St. Patrick's Day, which is like a month-long event, which is essentially a like an Easter egg style hunt, but you're looking for clover, and this little rainbow with a cat will show up on screen. And if you're in the chat, you just do like this command to follow it, and randomly you'll either succeed or fail. And you get all of these shamrocks that then become a digital currency you can use to put other like graphics on the screen or change the color of lights in the room, things like that. So we have a lot of those kind of things. We do a Halloween game. We do a Catmas thing where our entire screen is decked out with ornaments, and as people donate, their user image takes over those ornaments. Again, the podcast is, something that we're definitely going to try and double down on. And we just also, as part of the Super Bowl, please don't come after me. our kittens weren't ready to be adopted yet. So again, I was like, well, let's use this opportunity to get some cats adopted. And we launched our Foster Friends collaboration where people would send us video clips of their adoptable animals. And we made a big video and we put it in the middle of the halftime show and we put it on our YouTube. And I'm hoping to do that every month so that we can help other people get their cats fostered. So that's anyone, any rescue, anywhere in the world, because we do have a global audience. Doesn't have to be Los Angeles. In fact, it's better if it's not, because then there's less competition.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then more long-term, we do look to become like our own nonprofit and potentially open a cat cafe in the Valley of Los Angeles. So, I think that's where we're all heading.
Oh, cool. People come hang out with the in person.
Yeah, I think that would be the next best step is because we're at a point where, we're in our own house and the cats that we foster, because we have our own house cats that we foster are in our master bedroom. So we basically, borrow time from them to be like, and now we sleep here. But we don't have an actual space. It's all cats. So because of that, there's a limit to what we can do aside from the financial side of things, which is why we need donations in the first place, because, like if it was all up to me and my income and what I can afford, we'd be able to save about 7 cats a year. But thanks to our community and their donations or just buying things off of our Amazon wish list, we can actually do 2 to 3 dozen cats a year, which is a huge difference. But yeah, we're limited on space. So like once that room is filled up, because we only do 1 batch at a time, we won't mix litters pretty much. There's exceptions. We have like maybe a small capacity for an overflow in 1 other room, but that's it. We can only really take in 1.5 litters at a time. But if we had a cat cafe, that's 20 to 30 cats at one clip. So we'd be able to do a lot more.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, that's great. That's all the more reason to promote and help Cute Avalanche here, because that is excellent stuff. Cool. Well, thanks so much, Sammy. Again, we'll get all the links here. So Cute Avalanche on all the social media channels, new channels, all that good stuff.
Cool.
All right, cool. Thanks again for joining, Sam.
All right. Thanks so much.